Okay, Ralph, you're good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We will now reconvene the Tuesday, December 15th, 2020, Wall Township Board of Education regular meeting. Mr. Smythe, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, you can. Mr. Gartz,
Present.
Mr. Hall,
I'm here.
Mr. Krupa,
Present.
Ms. Mangan,
Here.
Mr. Nasser,
Here.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Here.
Ms. Stites,
Here.
Mr. Wondrak,
Here.
and Mr. Adenizio.
Here. Thank you. All right. We are going to start with number 8 this evening. We're also joined by our high school principal, Ms. Sergio. Would you like to do the introductions this evening?
Sure. Unless Dr. Handerhan, you did. Are you okay? Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Adenizio. I'm proud tonight to have our Student Board of Education representative, Isabel Casayas, here with us tonight. Izzy, give a wave. No. Izzy is our board representative for this school year, and we have our alternates here. We have Trevor Lokerson and Matt Yanulis.
Welcome. All right. Who is going to be giving the report this evening?
Isabel will be giving the report.
Okay. All right, Isabel, you are up. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Handerham, Mr. Adenizio, and the Board of Education. My name is Isabel Casayas, and I am proud to represent the students of Wall Township. I am a senior and an active participant in many sports clubs and activities. I play soccer, basketball, and track, all at the varsity level. I am the president of Student Council, public relations officer for the class of 2021, and I'm a member of the National Honor Society. The opening of the 2020-2021 school year has certainly been a unique one, and the high school students are navigating through this new normal. While we are learning on a hybrid schedule, some students are learning virtually, we're continuing to enjoy being high school students and taking every opportunity to learn and embrace activities the best way we can. We would like to thank our principal, Ms. Sergio, and the high school administrators for their leadership, our teachers for the time and energy they are putting forth to create exciting lessons each day, our custodians for keeping our building clean, our security for helping us get to school to and from in a safe manner, and the cafeteria staff for providing us lunches if we need it, as well as the nurse for keeping us safe. I would like to thank and acknowledge my fellow students who are following all of the guidelines set forth for us in this new learning model. As for academics, after gathering information from both students and teachers, it is evident that students are adapting well to the new schedule. As a student with a rigorous schedule, it was definitely hard starting out the year being home half the time. There was a lot of trial and error situations, both on the teacher's end and the student's end. By now, most teachers have figured out the best way to run the class with virtual students, and most students have learned how to make their class time the most beneficial to them. Our ultimate goal is to bring back all of our students and continue with our regular schedule. As for extracurricular activities, there have not been many due to our restrictions. However, the National Honor Society has given some volunteer opportunities at Liberty Haven Farms to those who feel comfortable. Additionally, we had a modified Spirit Week, mostly consisting of dress-up days for the students and staff. Each class chose a theme within the famous cities category. Seniors chose New York City, juniors chose Hollywood, sophomores chose Honolulu, and the freshmen chose Philadelphia. These days included Pajama Day, USA Day, and Class T-shirt Day. Class T-shirts were designed by students and sold to each class that would be worn for activities that we hope to hold in the spring. Also, students from each class created a mural for their class theme that will be hung in the front lobby for all to see. To end the week, we had our annual homecoming court, and this year's king was Logan Peters and the queen was Cassie Betts. The students are looking forward to continuing the second Spirit Week scheduled for the spring, where we can host some outdoor activities and play our annual Powder Puff game to keep the senior traditions alive. The seniors are still hopeful that we'll be able to attend our senior class trip, which has been moved from March to May, and we still remain hopeful that we'll be back to school 5 days a week and be able to celebrate at our senior prom and graduation as well. As for sports, Wall Athletics had made some history this fall season. Despite the delay and shortened schedule, 4 teams went undefeated in the regular season: boys and girls soccer, field hockey, and football. And 2 of those teams, boys soccer and football, ended with perfect seasons and a state championship title. Field hockey made a great run in their state tournament, unfortunately losing to Ocean in the semifinals, and girls soccer made it to the finals, putting up a good fight to RFH, who scored the winning goal in double overtime. We are very proud of all the fall athletes and are excited to start the winter season. The NJSIAA released the updated start dates a few weeks ago. Hockey can begin practice on January 3rd, basketball and bowling can begin January 11th, swimming and indoor track start February 1st, and gymnastics, girls volleyball, and wrestling begin March 1st. We hope to see our athletes playing very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Was there anything else from you guys? No? Well, you're welcome to stay on and watch, or you can go do homework, which probably isn't that exciting, but we thank you guys for coming out tonight and giving us an update. We are happy you're back in school, and we certainly are all rooting for full-time school so you guys can get the most out of your senior year. That's certainly what you want to hope, especially because you have 3 Wall alumni on the board, and we want you to have the same experience as we had. So good luck, and hopefully we will get to see you guys again next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to move on to number 9, President's Report. So tonight I'm going to give you the students of the month for 9th grade, Truer Brown, 10th grade, Lydia Menser, 11th grade, Aaron Kraus, and 12th grade, Nico Del Pietro. Knights of the week for 9th grade was Jake Hallett, 10th grade, Avery Flores, 10th grade, Elizabeth Meekin, and 10th grade, Victoria Olson. And then students of the marking period. For art, we have Sarah Vigilio, who's in 12th grade. Business, we have Haley D'Ambrosio, 12th grade. English, Greg Domas, 12th grade. Family life, Zachary Lichter, he's in 12th grade. Math, Daniel Hunt, he's in 12th grade. Music, Megan Gallagher, 12th grade. NNDCC, Nina Dapolito. And then Office of the Superintendent, we have for PE and Health, Carter Colatrella. Science was Jack Alexander in grade 12. Carter's in 9th grade, by the way. Social Studies, Carl Parsesepi. Technology and Education, Amber Rooney. And World Language, Allison Cartinella. So congratulations to all those students on outstanding achievements. Moving on, I wanted to touch, our student reps kind of talked about our sports season, but I wanted to highlight it again. Since our last meeting last month, we did go on to have a very successful year. So just a quick rundown for everybody out there. Our football team finished the season ranked #1 in the state. We won the unofficial short conference tournament against Donovan Catholic to finish the season 7-0. The team was dominant all year, scoring an average of 33.3 points per game and only allowing 5.4 points per game. Charlie Sasso was named Defensive Player of the Year for both the short conference and state. Congratulations. Casey Larkin was named Player of the Year for the short conference and is a nominee for the Gatorade Player of the Year for New Jersey. So congratulations to those outstanding athletes and the team on their incredible season. Boys soccer, B North Division champs and won their 2nd consecutive state sectional title to finish the season 17-0. They were the only team in the short conference with a perfect record and finished ranked #2. Amazingly, defensive year, only allowing 10 goals all season. Gary Lindstra was named Boys Soccer Coach of the Year by the Shore Sports Network. Congratulations to the coach. And again, all those athletes on that team, incredible. Our girls soccer team, B North Division champs, finished ranked #7 in the state with a 16-1 record. And their only loss was in the state sectional final in overtime. I got to see those games, and they were incredible games. And you know, our girls play incredible soccer, and they will certainly be contenders again next year. And our field hockey team, B North Division champs, they went into the state tournament undefeated before being upset in the state sectional semifinals to finish the season 11-1. Congratulations to our girls field hockey team, another outstanding team. So again, congratulations to all those outstanding athletes that we have, really, you know, prevailing on the field this year. I also wanted to recognize two high school seniors, Ben Tegar and Mike Matthews. They went out on their own and they collected over 300 toys for tots for the U.S. Marines. They placed boxes at their homes, Wall Intermediate School, Allenwood Post Office, and they also sent out flyers in their neighborhood. Just another example of our Wall students doing incredible things for our community. So I wanted to recognize them for their outstanding work in this holiday season. And finally, some unfortunate news. For those who've been around for a while, this past week, Robert Lee, he passed away. He moved to Wall Township in 1959 to teach in a brand new Wall High School. His teaching career spanned an incredible 33 years here in Wall. Through those years, he was a department head of physical education. And prior to his retirement in 1992, he was the athletic director. During his tenure at Wall High School, he coached football from 61 to 86 and was head coach for boys gymnastics from 1960, in the 1960s through the 1970s. And those of you might know him if you didn't go to Wall High School. He was the owner of Silton Swim School here in Wall. I purchased it in 1977 and taught kids in this area how to swim for the last 43 years. So just like to recognize him for his accomplishments here in Wall, and send our condolences to his family at, certainly this difficult time. So with that, I'm going to move on to Board of Education updates, and Mr. Krupa has an update for everyone. Mr. Krupa?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
All right, thank you. Just give me a minute to bring up my notes. It's a time of reflection this time of year, and in similar fashion to what you just did and the high school and even the middle school does in terms of recognizing and celebrating achievements. I'd like to list some things that have happened over the course of the year on behalf of the entire board, although not everybody has contributed to this list because of the time thoughts with regard to getting this done. This past year, and let me just say that many great business and education models say this is an important thing to do, and it's a translate to social emotional learning, and this board and this community need that care given to them, especially in these times, besides it being a reflective time, as I said, but we've been through a lot. And so let's recognize the fact that during this year, we've been able to appoint a new superintendent, that this board worked to put in a new attorney, a new auditor, a new bank in regards to decisions that have been made for that. We've also worked with the administration to put in action outdoor graduation celebrations, which at one point in time, nobody thought there'd even be anything. So that's something to hang our hat on for 5th, 8th grade and 12th grade. These are important milestones, and they were supported by the Board of Ed, the administrators, the parents, the teachers, everybody. I'm paraphrasing, so excuse me if I miss anything, but the central school trailers, remember that the board had concerns over the internal district management of the trailer maintenance and concern for the presentation of the information, and we worked very hard to have that information be more forthcoming. We viewed it with the acting superintendent, now the current attorney, and we're looking to identify inefficient or unusual practices that may hinder facility management going forward. And that's really all we can do at this point. This matter brought focus to a need for improved communication with the stakeholders in the district and the community at large. And to that point, the WTEA and the Board of Ed and administrators in the district have worked collaboratively in a health and safety committee to identify other issues. Central School had flooding this year, and we were able to get that mitigated and addressed in a timely manner. Stakeholders, the superintendent, everybody was able to start the school year with their peers in the community. That was all the work of those stakeholders, the superintendent, Central School administration. So we want to thank them for that. The high school gym mercury concerns, it was initially managed and investigated by the district engineering firm. And when mercury was detected, the gym was closed. So we're acting quickly as soon as we have the information. And WTEA and the administrators and supervisors group were notified, followed by notification of the public. We're working to address the concerns there, and we worked with a specialist, Dr. Richard Lynch, to address the testing and the data analysis, and his findings were favorable. The process was communicated to the all stakeholders. A presentation was made with opportunities for public question, and the information is available on our website. And similarly to that, we had two open forums where a portion of the board representation and administrators in the district addressed issues on that. But prior to that, on the COVID response, we have reopened the schools amid COVID. The BOE has supported the districts in the management of virtual instructions in the spring and then in the falls, using hybrid models of instruction. Our Finance and Facility Committee has reviewed and recommended purchase of PPE and additional staffing to meet the demands of instruction, as well as contact tracing. Our Policy Committee has reviewed and recommended policies related to school operations during this pandemic. And our Curriculum and Instruction Committee has met and participated in many discussions with the district leadership regarding support of the staff and, more importantly, the students' work in this hybrid or virtual model. It's fortunate that our one-on-one initiative at all levels in advance of the COVID allowed us to put into place virtual instruction. We also weathered the cyber attack and were able to bring in a firewall that is doing a better and more thorough job with that. Their negotiations with the WTEA, the TASC are ongoing, and looking forward to agreement in the near future. And very important, it was just 6 months ago, a year ago, that 6 new board members arrived on this board. I was one of them, although I had a few months ahead of everybody. And in this short time, these are some of the things that we've had to learn about. We're all new board members. We're all working with the previous members of the board to do good things for the school. And some additional good things were the community and school partnership in providing meals to students during that time. And even now, food delivery by volunteers occurred with the collaboration of the cafeteria staff and the administrators, and it was just really a wonderful thing to see. So I think it's important that, as I said before, that we take the time to celebrate these things, knowing full well that we have more work and challenges ahead of us. And challenge is not a dirty or a negative word. It's the truth of the matter. We're doing the best that we can. I think that we tend to focus, and I know that many people agree, on the negatives, but these are some of the positive constructs, decisions, and outcomes of work on many, many people's part, including the 9 board members and the 6 new guys that came on in this very hectic time, if you will. So I'm glad that we're following the student of the month and those types of announcements, because as adults, sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. We're always thinking about our kids and things like that. And it's not that we're taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of our community. So let's recognize these things, continue to be reflective, and go forward in a positive manner. And I'm sorry if I missed anything or I butchered some of the things that were written by Christine. And I hope that we can continue to look at the bright side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krupa. We appreciate that for the update. Dr. Handerhan, you have an update as well.
I do. Good evening. I would like to thank our student representatives to the Board of Education, Ms. Isabel Casayas, Mr. Trevor Lokerson, and Mr. Matt Yanulis. It was wonderful to see you this evening to join us. And of course, I would like to also thank Principal Rose Sergio for coming out this evening as well. Students, I truly appreciate your efforts and the efforts of your fellow student leaders. You've had a challenging journey, and your leadership really goes such a long way as we mitigate our current health crisis, but also how we really try to make the best of our educational environment. And your work does not go unnoticed. I would like to share that an email was sent out to the community this evening regarding adjustments to our schedule due to this week's projected inclement weather. After reviewing many weather models, it appears that educational programming will not be impacted tomorrow, Wednesday, December 16th. However, Thursday, December 17th does not look favorable. As such, Thursday, December 17th will be a remote learning day. This year, school districts are permitted to teach virtually during emergency school closings, such as inclement weather. That is, that the day counts towards the 180 required days. I have received some requests to just have a plain old snow day. Unfortunately, we do not have any no school snow days at our disposal since we had to delay the start of school this year. So thank you for your feedback on that. I would like to provide the community with updated COVID-19 data. Since September, and as of 4 p.m. today, the total number of positive COVID-19 cases across the district is as follows: 86 positive and 2 presumed positive. Those were students that did not take the test. That breaks down to 67 or 65 students and 19 staff members. Wall High School, 41 or 39 students. Again, it's the presumed positive. That's the differential for the 2, and 5 staff members. Wall Intermediate School, 12 students and 4 staff members. Pre-K through grade 5, 14 students and 7 staff members across all of the schools. And non-school-based district employees, 3 staff members. I've also been asked by several community members about the number of students and staff members that are required to quarantine. As discussed at last week's meeting, orange level protocols have considerably increased the number of quarantines throughout the district. Additionally, the number of quarantined individuals is a fluid number. In an effort to illustrate the magnitude, I will provide a snapshot this evening. I will share the number of individuals that we're quarantining today. These quarantines are a result of travel, being in close contact with someone that is tested positive, and being in close contact of someone that has presented a COVID-like symptom at school. And that is the orange protocol for which I speak. Again, this is a snapshot just of today, the number of quarantines. Total number of quarantines across the district, 179 students and 29 staff members. That breaks down to Wall High School, 74 students and 12 staff members. Wall Intermediate School, 17 students and 6 staff members. Pre-K through 5, grade 5, 88 students and 11 staff members. Please note that our number of quarantines is not necessarily indicative of future number of positive cases. This is especially the case since we moved into the orange quarantining protocols. I would like to share that the scheduled December 2020 mold assessment conducted by industrial hygienist Dr. Richard Lynch is available on the district website under the tab Facilities Updates. I am pleased to report that Dr. Lynch's findings indicate that, and I quote, airborne mold levels are considered to be within normal ranges. And again, this was a mold assessment that was conducted for Central School following the flood that we had in August. I would be remiss if I did not express my gratitude for all of the time and effort Ms. Erin Magnan invested in her role as a board member, as a Board of Education member. Since my arrival and certainly during the superintendent search, Ms. Magnan demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the children and employees of this district. Ms. Magnan, thank you for all of your service and best wishes to you as you begin your new civic adventure. Mr. Adonisio, that's complete.
Thank you, Dr. Handerhan. Okay, we will now move to public comment. Number 12 on the agenda, it's for public comment on any action items that we will have this evening. Please let us know what item you are addressing so we can follow along, please.
Hi, Betsy Cross. I literally just put my name up, so in case somebody else had done it prior. I did send an email earlier today. I was just wondering, I thought we'd see something on the agenda about the Fine Arts Academy. So if you could give an update on that. I don't see anything on the agenda. Usually around this time is when you find out how many kids got in. I think you budgeted X amount and it was under, you had under the students applying. So you should have enough money for all of them. Let me see. Just wondering, it looks like we're hiring Dennis Pallone or something like that for $550 a day. But what I don't understand is there's no contract for him. And we got into the same problem when we hired Dr. Cram. It didn't seem like he knew what he was doing or what his job function was. And we paid a lot of money and I'm not sure what we got out of it for the 66 grand. What else? Student representative report. Isabel did a great job. Hopefully, I think she could sit in here and take a seat here tonight on the board. I wish we'd have more students that would actually be involved and look at budgets and things like that. I think we would get a lot out of it. Yeah, if you could go over before you're voting tonight exactly what the interim assistant super is doing. Is he in charge of curriculum? What exactly is he doing? I don't even think you should approve a contract. I mean, approve him unless you go through all these details. I did not hear back from Mr. Richard, so I have no idea if he even approved anything. I noticed Mr. Smythe's name is spelled wrong. He's worked here for, I think, 21 years now. I don't know how we have a sidebar agreement with his name spelled wrong, but that happens over and over again here. I'm not sure. I see a lot of extra payments here. I don't even understand it. I know our nurses are doing a great job, but are they able to go back and put in for 50 extra hours for September or 50 extra hours for October? Is that what this is saying that they're going to be doing? And who was approving it and who was signing off on it? You have to be much more specific on that. What's the status of hiring a grant writer? It looks like Mr. Smythe got $2,871 this month. I mean, if we would hire a grant writer, there's so much money out there to be had and we're not getting it. I still keep asking this question. When are the kids back in the South Gym when they're in the high school? Are they in the gym now with the mercury? And how did we buy this mercury floor? And who's going to keep paying for these quarterly testings? This is where all these pats on the back of Christine Stites wrote that letter and added Andy Krupa is reading it. I don't even understand it. I mean, we don't need to be spending all this time patting yourselves on the back about what a wonderful job you did when we still don't have a trailer investigation done 16 months later. And you still haven't answered the question of how we bought a mercury floor when nobody was selling them. Thanks to me, we've changed the bank, but it now needs to be investigated. All these things, I just keep beating you, saying it over and over and over again. And finally, we got a new auditor. We should have gotten him 8 years ago. So, I mean, nobody cares that you're new on the board. Nobody. You got to get these kids back in school. Manasquan's open full day every other day. And here we are still 4 hours a day collecting money for people to pay to come in to pay for you to watch their kids. It's crazy. You got to get these kids back in school. Yes, we have to watch the numbers, but if other schools can do it a mile away, you need to be able to. We're running a school here with kids. What else is on this agenda? I know something about the sidebar. I thought I heard it was supposed to be signed before. That's the one with Brian's name spelled wrong. One or the other. Either they're signed before, not signed before. But, everything's all over the place. Retirees, I wish well Janice Weissman. My son had her, great teacher. Yeah, all this additional class compensation, I'm just really not following. How many hours a day are people working and how are you coming up with all this extra pay and the stipends and all that?
Thank you, Ms. Cross. Your time is up. Gail?
Good evening, Mr. Adamio.
Good
How are
evening.
you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. The WTEA wishes everybody a happy holiday and a safe season when we go out on our break. We just wanted to take a minute and thank our nurses for keeping our district safe and keeping our numbers down. With the numbers throughout this area and throughout the state exponentially increasing, and districts going remote around us. Thank you for reporting those numbers. It makes people understand where they stand. What we will probably be asking Dr. Handerhan is a method to get those numbers reported more frequently than at the board meetings where they meet. Some people at this time are considering unpaid leaves because they have to see their family and they never really know if they've been exposed or not. So we do need a mechanism to get those numbers reported out to the members that feel that they need that information to make a healthy and safe decision for them and their families. So thank you for those numbers tonight. And hopefully we can come up with a plan on getting those numbers reported more frequently. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Seeing nobody else for public comment, we will move along. All right. We have number 13, approval of the secretary minutes. Could I have a motion for approval for the workshop meeting in November 10th, 2020, executive session in November 10th, 2020, the executive session of November 17th, 2020, business meeting November 17th, 2020, and the special meeting of November 30th, 2020.
I'll make that.
Motion by Mr. Wondrak. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gartz. Any discussion on them? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Gartz,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Krupa,
Yes.
Ms. Mangan,
Yes.
Mr. Nasser,
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Yes.
Ms. Stites,
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak,
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio.
Yes, thank you. All right, number 14, policy. Recommend approval after public hearing of the first reading of the following policies: 2431, regulation 2431.01, 2464, 6470.01, regulation 6470.01, 7440, regulation 7440. Could I have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Hall. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Stites. Okay, I will now open this up for public hearing. Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Krupa,
Yes.
Ms. Mangan,
Yes.
Mr. Nasser,
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Yes.
Ms. Stites,
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak,
Yes.
Mr. Gartz,
Yes.
and Mr. Adenizio.
Yes. Recommend approval after public hearing for the following policies: 1620, 1648, 1648.02, 1648.03, 5330.05, regulation 5330.05, 6440, 8320, and regulation 8320. Could I have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Mr. Hall. Could I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Megan. I will now open up for public hearing. Ms. Cross.
Hi. Yeah, I'll unmute myself. You don't have to unmute me, Ralph, because I think I've noticed you've done that before and listened to my conversations.
Not true.
Yeah, thank you. I'll unmute myself. Yeah, I wanted to go over the electronic funds transfer and claimant report, 647001. Could you tell me what were we doing before? Because this came up with mobile lease and, Brian had made a wire transfer to mobile lease and Mr. Nasser didn't understand that. And he kept telling me I was wrong. And I kept saying there was a wire transfer.
Ms. Cross, we already voted on that. We're having public hearing on all the items listed under B.
Oh, okay. Well, mine was on item A. So if Mr. Smythe can go
Well,
over.
no, Ms. Cross, we already opened public hearing on that and closed it. Do you have anything under
It's
B?
on A. I'd like Mr. Smythe to go over.
Okay, Ms.
who was
Cross.
reviewing.
Ms. Cross, one last time. Do
Who
you
was
have anything for B
reviewing.
or no? You do not, Ms. Cross.
Administrative employment contracts. If you could just go over what the changes were for that. I know we seem to just approve dollar amounts without contracts for people. So could you go over what that actually says for 1620 before you vote on it? Thank you.
We did that at the last
And then-
workshop meeting, Ms. Cross, that you were
And
at.
then for the cooperative purchasing, what I find is we pay people for this cooperative purchasing, but then Mr. Smythe never actually gets the bids through the co-op. So Mr. McKeever, Mr. Scarillo's not here tonight, but that's what they're gonna find out when they go back to get these bids from RIS and from all these people that we were supposedly getting bids from through the co-op. It was actually false. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing nobody else for public comment on this, we'll close public comment. Any discussion from board members? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Krupa,
Yes.
Ms. Mangan,
Yes.
Mr. Nasser,
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Yes.
Ms. Stites,
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak,
Yes.
Mr. Gartz,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
and Mr. Adenizio.
Yes, thank you. Number 15, could I have a motion for A, B, C, and D?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Nazar. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Sanfilippo. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Ms. Mangan,
Yes.
Mr. Nasser,
Yes to A through C. I'll abstain on D.
thank you. Mr. Sanfilippo,
Yes.
Ms. Stites,
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak,
Yes.
Mr. Gartz,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes, but abstain on H.
Mr. Hall, there is no H in this one. It's 15A through D.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I'm sorry. Yes, then I
That's
vote
okay.
yes. I'm sorry.
No, no problem. Thank you.
Mr. Krupa,
Yes.
and Mr. Adenizio.
Yes on A through C, and I will abstain on D. I have a family member in the district. Thank you. Number 16, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Handerhan.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the Human Resources Report with the exception of the position of Interim Assistant Superintendent? May I have a motion for
Excuse me,
B?
Dr. Handerhan,
Yes,
if we can just take that one by itself, please.
okay. May I have a motion to approve the Human Resources Report with the exception of Interim Assistant Superintendent?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Wondrich, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gartz. Any discussion? Oh, seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Nasser,
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Yes.
Ms. Stites,
Yeah.
Mr. Wondrak,
Yes.
Mr. Gartz,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Krupa,
I'm a yes with an abstention on letter K, please.
letter K on the HR report, or letter K under superintendent? Are you
No,
reading
the HR,
professional development?
the HR report, I believe, letter K. I want to abstain from that one. Let me see if I have to open another screen. Hold on a minute.
You're correct, Mr.
Yeah,
Item K on the HR report.
you know, it's 16A, which is the HR report, but it's item K in that letter A. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yes, it's under Roman numeral number 8, item K,
Yes.
or I'm sorry, Roman numeral,
16A, item K.
thank
I'm
you.
abstaining from.
Ms. Mangan,
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio.
Yes.
You.
Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Handerhan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Smythe. May I have a motion for items B through K, excluding G and H?
Could we have a motion on that? Motion by Mr. Sanfilippo, a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Wondrak. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Yes.
Ms. Stites,
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak,
Yes.
Mr. Gartz,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Krupa,
Is that me?
yes.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Ms. Mangan,
Yes.
Mr. Nasser,
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio.
Yes. Number 17, Business Office, Mr. Smythe.
I ask for a motion to approve items 17A through H by consent agenda.
Could we have a motion on that?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gartz. Could I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Nasser. Any discussion? Ms. Stites?
Yes, I want to point out, I have some concerns regarding C, bills and claims, 17C, specifically referencing our attorney bills for the month of October. It's actually page 82. If you're looking at the agenda, it's page 23 of attachment B3 if you've got it printed out. Specifically under legal services, I'm looking at invoice 13322. Our current attorney group has been very thorough in actually giving the board a breakdown of our charges. And as I was reviewing this 13322, it specifically references OPRA requests and what we're paying in terms of OPRA requests. And I have some real concerns that of the several pages here, we have 22 OPRA requests filed by a single member of the public. And while I certainly respect the public participating, the school district does not belong to the Board of Education. It is a community. Our school district belongs to the community, and everyone is invited and should be a part of it. I do take issue with the fact that the 22 entries I'm referencing in Oprah alone cost the district $2,084.70, 75 cents, excuse me, in a single month. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn in that I do believe, although I'm not holding all of them in front of me, that we may have paid up to $8,000 in Oprah attorney fees alone, not personnel expenses related to Oprah, but attorney fees alone in a 3-month period. When we make references to spending district money like monopoly money, I think this is something that the public needs to understand is going on. These are taxpayer dollars that we are really spending pretty freely. It would appear to me that perhaps these requests may be going or may be part of CC'd emails going directly to our attorneys. The attorneys are the attorneys for the Board of Education in the district. They are not supposed to be used, as far as I'm concerned, for individual requests. And I would hope that the board is going to look at these bills as they come in the future, and that we give some really serious, thought into how we're spending this money. Last year between 1920, my understanding is the district estimates that they spent $10,000 in attorney fees related to Oprah alone. And please understand, I'm not talking about Oprah requests that have anything to do with the trailer investigation. That's an entirely separate invoice. These are about water damage and attorney bills and executive minutes, people's work calendars, architect payments, health insurance figures. While I certainly appreciate the public right to know what's going on, I would just like to point out that I don't know if directing this through Oprah and spending this kind of money is necessary. I have not seen the fruits of these Oprahs to justify this kind of expense. And what I would suggest is that bringing these concerns to the microphone and the dais is probably reasonable, and that we need to think about what we're doing here. So that's what I have to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stites. Does anybody else have any comments, questions? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Ms. Stites?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Wondrak?
Yes.
Mr. Gartz?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
yes,
Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio?
Yes. Okay. All right. We will now open up for public comment on any school district matters. Ms. Cross?
Like I said, you don't need to unmute my microphone. I'll click on it and unmute it myself. So that's the second time I've now said that to you, Mr. Adonisio.
All right, Mrs. Cross, this is a meeting of the Wall Township Board of Education, not yours, so please make your comments.
Christine, it's funny. I'm getting a lot of people instant message me and texting me saying that we can't believe that you would even say that about Oprah requests. Last month's attorney bills were $30,000 just on the trailers. And I'm going to go over my Oprah requests. They're for referendum documents that the district is supposed to maintain forever. So that cost about $100 that he had to send to the attorney. And now we have to figure out whatever happened to those referendum documents and where that $60 million got spent. Another one is for the Central School trailers. Another one is for the Henry Cram information for that ridiculous report. That was $156. Another one is payments to the architect, which has to do with the Central School trailers. Another one is for the subpoena. I wouldn't have to Oprah it if you didn't get a subpoena. Another one, I'm just going down the line. Of course I want Mr. Smythe's work calendar. We can't figure out when he met with these people over the last summer. Are you kidding me? It sounds so ridiculous. Do you know what? All these other towns don't have to send all this stuff to their attorney because they're accountable and transparent and they just reply with it. It's only the Wall Township Board of Education that this nonsense goes on, and we just spent $49,000 on attorney bills in October. Are you joking? 2,000 were for the Oprahs. So please, Christine, do yourself a favor and look through them before you come out with something so ridiculous as that. I just can't even believe it. I didn't hear an update on what you're doing for what happened with the interim superintendent. While I'd love to have an interim superintendent, what is the Board of Education doing? How do we not have somebody by now? How did you not, say, hey, we need a contract? I mean, my God, you just make the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's so embarrassing. And yeah, I circled that because the October bill for the attorney was $49,000. That was peanuts for the Oprahs for all the information that's been hidden from the public. It's outrageous. And then, yeah, I was really impressed with Isabel. I wish she would sit in and watch this and see these documents that you're looking at and approving. I think we have 3 or 4 superintendents on the list that we're paying this month, but that wasn't brought up. Mark Francescini got over 2,000, 2 other superintendents. So what the Oprah's cost, we paid out to 1 superintendent that worked here 20 years ago. I can't even imagine the problems we're going to have with this current board, but by then I won't be here. And could you give us an update on what is happening with the Monmouth County Arts Program? This is actually a school district and we should be talking about children. And I can't say enough about the nurses and what they've done. They're doing a great job. But what we can keep doing is going back retroactively and paying people. It's ridiculous. Next, we'll see Mr. Smythe getting $100,000 raise back to July. And Miss Mangan, I hope when you're at municipal, you're just not signing everything that's put in front of you, because what's happened here, I haven't been too impressed. I was on phone calls today over a development with Pittenger. I mean, it's just crazy. I try to keep up. People give me information all day long. People are sick of it. They're sick of everything that goes on in this town. So I'll keep doing what I'm doing if you keep doing what you're doing, which is not getting these kids back in school and getting them the
Mr. Ross,
best
your time
possible
is up.
education.
Is there anybody else for public comment this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will close public comment. Let's go around. Mr. Smythe, did you have anything that you wanted to add this evening?
Sure. I'll just clarify with regard to the Oprah request and the comment made by the individual during public comment with regard to me sending Oprah requests to the attorney. That is in fact not the case. Those Oprah requests are being submitted directly by Ms. Cross, not by this office. With regard to referendum information that we're supposed to maintain, the district does maintain referendum documents. However, that was not the request. It was a request for minutes for a meeting on a particular date that did not exist because there was no meeting. So therefore, there were no minutes. So the proper response to an Oprah request asking for minutes on a date that there was no meeting would be that no documents exist. That response was in fact provided. With regard to earlier comments with regard to cooperative bidding, and we did not go out to bid for cooperative purchasing. Under cooperative purchasing, school districts do not actually go out to bid. The entity that has the cooperative contract is the entity that goes out and solicits bids and awards the bids as a member of the cooperative purchasing agreement, which the district would be a member of. We're a member of a number of cooperative purchasing agreements, one large one being a New Jersey state contract that we don't actually go to bid, that entity does. We just award off of that existing contract that was awarded by the overseeing supervising entity on that contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Hanrahan, did you have anything that you want to add this evening?
No, just that it was a delight to have the students and Ms. Sergio join us this evening. You know, I enjoyed certainly the reflection during the board update with respect to, you know, all the things that the board was able to accomplish. And I certainly, again, wish to bid my farewell and best wishes to Ms. Megan. So.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Krupa.
Thank you. I too would like to say thank you to Aaron. I see you down in my left corner there. And I think that any thought process other than the fact that you've been an exemplary public servant added so much to our discussions about education and children and even the community. I know you haven't been here that long. I haven't either. It's all been in the best interest of everyone, and that's a very selfless position to take, and I really appreciate it. I know you want what's best for your own children too, and that's a wonderful force to have behind any of the decisions that I know you're going to make, and do a great job at the town council. We're looking forward to the relationship becoming stronger between the town council and the Board of Education because of your placement there. And you know, just keep your chin up and smiling and do the good job that you've been doing there, there. And just for my behalf, happy holidays to everybody. And you know, I'm happy that we were able to talk about those things, which in a reflective mode are important to note, because there's too much direction in the other way. Not that it's irrelevant or not important to look back to learn from things, but sometimes there's nothing there.
Thank you, Mr. Krupa. Ms. Stites.
Yes, I have a few things actually. Again, if anyone is interested in the invoice, it's 13322. Various Oprahs, 22, about any number of topics. As far as the trailer goes, and the $30,000 in terms of attorney bills in October. $30,000 of that was part of the, or is actually under a trailer audit. That's 13324. And there is an individual who has called in this evening who is listed 13 times in that. Again, participating to the tune of thousands of dollars. While I certainly appreciate the participation to a certain point, again, it's a lot of money. So I think to complain about that $30,000 when we're neck deep involved in it is a little hypocritical. I would like to say that 2020 was a huge year of transition. We do, as Mr. Cooper mentioned, we've had a new superintendent, new auditor, new attorney, new bank. We've had many challenges. And I think that we have faced them admirably. I do think it's important to recognize where we've come. And if transition was 2020, I hope 2021 is a focus on resilience. I think everyone can learn a lot from Izzy Cassius's report this evening. It was awesome to see kids back. And I love the fact that they're doing the best they can and they recognize that our staff is doing the best that they can and everyone is learning and pulling together. I think what we have to focus on as a community is whether or not we're going to decide that we're going to approach things collaboratively and attempt to make continued progress, or if we're going to continue to be of the mindset of being mistrustful and divisive. I don't say that there are many new board members to suggest, that we need to be given a break. But what I'm saying is when the people on the board are dynamic, people have joined and they've joined for the right reasons. Ironically, I have agreed with some of the things that Mrs. Cross has been concerned about. And that is how I wound up in this seat now, trying to do the best that I can. So when I hear things like we injure students and it's not about the kids, that doesn't get us anywhere. I think we need to recognize that we're moving forward, we've made great progress, and we're in a position to keep going. And I'm willing to partner and work with anyone in the public who wants to work forward, but you cannot continue to call and bash. I would implore members of the community before they take to social media to recognize that, what's your end goal? Is your goal to move things forward for the students or not? So that being said, I've appreciated everybody's work. Mrs. Mangan, it's been fantastic. I've really appreciated working with you. And I know that in 2021, I can only hope that we're going to be moving forward and we're going to take some direction from our kids who have said that they're moving forward and doing the best that they can. So I wish everybody a happy holidays, and that's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Stites. Mr. Hall.
Thanks, Ralph. Christine, I think I want to thank you for your comments. I think that what you summed it up beautifully, so I don't need to say anything more. To Erin, we're going to miss you a lot. I think there's no doubt about that, and I commend you for throwing your hat into the political ring. I know that's not an easy thing to do, and I know that's a whole nother world. But I think being on this Board of Ed has kind of toughened you up a little bit. So I think you'll probably be better prepared than most to take that role on. So I have complete faith in you, and I know you'll do a great job. I know you're very you've showed in meetings and stuff how thoughtful you are and how you look through the different problems, and I know that you're going to do a great job for the residents of Wall Township, putting them first. So again, I congratulate you wholeheartedly on that. So that's it for me, Mr. Adenizio. I think that's it. And again, well, other than wish everybody a happy holiday season as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Mr. Nazar.
I'm going to add a little bit here. I remember way back, probably over 10 years ago now, walking into Miss Mangan's classroom as a custodian, and there'd be a mouse running around, or, some kid threw up, and, seeing the passion and the love that she had for education, I loved getting called in that room because, there was never a problem. There was only, how do we deal with it and how do we learn from it? And so I know she brought that passion, she brought that love here to the board. I know she's going to take that with her to the town. I'm going to miss it here. It's a pleasure working with you again, Aaron. And, I wish you luck. You're going to do great things and keep that passion, keep that drive alive because, you got it. So, other than that, I just like to wish everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever holiday you choose to celebrate, enjoy it. If you got to keep it small this year, just be safe. And next year, you know what, we're going to have a party. That's all we got to say. So thank you for everything. Thank you, Aaron. And thanks again.
Thank you. Mr. Wondrak.
Yes, I take the opportunity to say farewell to Erin and good luck in your next assignment. And Merry Christmas to you, your husband, and the kids. And I know you're going to do well there. It's been my pleasure to be associated on the board with you. In addition, another subject. I'm getting tired of trailer discussions without new documentation. It's the same thing over and over and over, and it takes away from the kids. It's just not right. And we're going to have to somehow look into this. It's kind of like along the lines of Christine's complaint. She's right. So that's all I have to say. To the fellow board members, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Wondrak. Mr. Gartz.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Addonizio. Just a note of good wishes to the board as we move into 2021 and some hope for the future. I just want to be clear that, ideas that this board has put forth and actions that they have taken are not solely the ideas of a single member of the public who speaks often at our meetings. Actually, people who've run for the Board of Education and chosen to fill these seats actually have good ideas. And that person does not own those ideas. Many people on this board have great ideas, and we've moved them forward collectively like a board needs to work. We have followed the law. We have put in hours and hours of time of which that one individual doesn't seem to care about. And personally, I really don't care what she thinks. And I don't care what the band of renown that texts her during meetings thinks. I care about what the rules are, what the laws are, what the superintendent wants to do, and what we're able to do as a collective group, because that's how boards work. And so I'm going to look forward to 2021, missing Aaron, who sat next to me during the meetings when we were in public, welcoming Kristen, and looking forward to working with a partner in the municipal budget. So thank you very much, and good luck, Aaron.
Thank you, Mr. Gartz. Mr. Sanfilippo.
I just wanted to thank Aaron. I showed a picture. Those were your digital flower bouquet. I know in the past when, we've had board members move on to bigger and better things, we've always had something for them. So I feel like this is the year we got robbed of everything. And at least we're not going to get robbed of Christmas and Hanukkah and all of our holidays. I want to wish Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, and hopefully all the kids get everything that Santa brings them, and we'll make sure that he can get down the chimney. And that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate everything that everybody does here on the board. I do think, and I've said it many times, that we're all of our hearts are in the right place. This is not a, agenda-driven board. This is a board that, takes challenges and thinks through them. I think that everybody is very thoughtful in ideas that they have, and comments that we toss around to each other and talk through. And that's the way that this board has worked all year. It's been a collaborative effort. I'm very much looking forward to 2021, which I think the entire world is, and I just hope and pray that that couldn't come soon enough. So thank you to everybody, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Mr. Sanfilippo. Ms. Megan, you're up.
Thank you. Wow, your kind words really just genuinely touch my heart. It makes it so much harder to leave and move on. This was not an easy decision to make. Call me crazy, but I really like and enjoy collaborating with each and every one of you. Some of us were complete strangers when we met. Others, like Adam, I've known him for 10 years and had the amazing opportunity to work with him. But overall, you guys are an amazing board. You have such positive spirits and high hopes. And I know within my heart, each and every single one of you, including administration, all the educators, the support personnel, and every single board member here, you go above and beyond, and you do what's right for the kids. So stay positive, stay true. It's been such an honor to serve on this board with you. You know, everything our community has encountered, the tremendous amount of challenges within this past year and a half, you still managed to rise up and continuously be dedicated and committed to the students and the families within our community. And that speaks volumes. And there are so many people in our town who appreciate everything you have done, despite whatever negativity there is out there. I know everybody is doing it for the right reasons. So I look forward to all the wonderful things you're going to do in the future. I'm so proud of my kids attending this school district. And I look forward to everything to see, and I will miss you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Finally, as we wind down 2020, which has been the craziest year of all our lives, I would say, filled with a lot of sadness. Unfortunately, a lot of people lost loved ones this year. I think at this point, everybody knows someone that's dealt with the sickness, lost a loved one, and it's heartbreaking. With all that, we as Americans and people, we have forged ahead and worked to do the best we can do. And this year, again, I've said it a couple times, this feels like year 5 of 2020. But with that, we've been very fortunate here. I want to take a second to thank all our staff, our teachers, and the paras who were thrown into a virtual environment that none of them were ever trained for. And they worked hard and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went on, and they forged ahead and continued to educate our students. Dr. Gleason, who left, I mean, she did a fantastic job for us in the spring. And, I can't say enough nice things about her for all her hard work she did to transition us into that virtual world. Our dedicated cafeteria staff for 19 weeks, who a group of them showed up every week and made food for students that needed it. Over 5,000 meals. Andy had touched on that. When everybody was, a lot of people were petrified to go out because they didn't know what this was. They came every week and didn't complain and did it. And I want to thank them and Sandy and Food Services for her and her team and their hard work. I want to thank the WTEA. Going back to the spring, they took it upon themselves to donate 2 weeks of food for students that carried it into July. Something really special that they did for our students. Our nurses, who have been working very hard since school opened for, doing the hard work, keeping our schools open. Thank you to them. Our bus drivers, maintenance, custodial staff, for all they've been doing for cleaning. I mean, the bus drivers, besides driving the buses, in between runs, cleaning the buses to make sure they're safe for the students. Just an incredible job that they've been doing. Our principals and the administration and other administrative staff for getting the plans together for opening school this year, which, you know, we talked about it numerous times in August. They kept moving the football on us, and we kept going back and you know, forging ahead to get those schools open. Our central office staff who, you know, during all this, most of them were going in quite a few days a week and working hard and, you know, keeping the business of the district going. You know, Dr. Handerhan, who I've said numerous times, being a new superintendent, I'm sure is difficult enough, but walking into something that there's no playbook for or has never happened in probably anybody that's alive's lifetime, and being able to do the things she's done so far and the vision she has for the district. Thank you. And I certainly believe the best days are ahead of us. Aaron, thank you for your contributions to the board, your dedication to the Wall Township schools. You're going to be missed greatly. You've certainly your thoughts and your input it's just been fantastic, and it's definitely going to be a loss for us. It's going to be a gain for the other side of the street, but you know, luckily we get to work with you into the future. So we are grateful for that, and I want to wish you luck. On a personal note, I'd like to thank all my fellow board members for all your support this year as board president. Certainly a very difficult year with the number of issues we had. You know, I'm finishing year 7 on the board, and this year was like no other year for many reasons. You know, it's been a pleasure serving with each and every one of you. I think Russell had mentioned it. You know, everybody brings a different idea, different perspective to the board. We're able to debate things and come up with good, solid solutions, and it's certainly a pleasure. You know, and all your hard work on all the different committees this year, you know, transitioning from a committee of the whole to individual committees, and really digging in and getting the work done that we need to do. It's just been incredible. So I want to thank all of you for that. And for everybody, I, you know, wish you happy Hanukkah, because it's Hanukkah right now. So happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish friends out there. Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrates, and happy holidays to anybody that I missed in that. Be safe, be well, and we look forward to 2021. And with that, could we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Mr.
second.
Gartz, second by Ms. Megan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night and be safe.